Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the World Economic Forum. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Fact 1. It's also known as Davos. The World Economic Forum is the annual January gathering of leaders around the world, both in business and in government, and also the scientific world, and it's held at the Davos, Switzerland alpine ski resorts. Because it's always held there and haven't changed since the inception of this event, when someone says they're going to Davos, it typically means that they're going to attend this forum. And so some people may think that Davos is an event itself, but actually it is just the location of this very famous world conference. The organization that organizes the World Economic Forum is also based in Switzerland, and so it makes sense that this event is also based or held in Switzerland every year. The founder is a German engineer who is still alive today and is still the head of this organization that prompts people to come together and try to work out solutions and address problems that the world is facing today. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. Started as the European Management Forum. As I mentioned in the previous section, the whole organization was started by a German engineer, and he originally titled it the European Economic Forum in the 1970s. The person, Klaus Schwab, invited many European leaders into the forum to have a conference or a symposium, if you will, and this is how the World Economic Forum really got started. The initial first few conferences were really only composed of Western Europe business leaders and government leaders, while the rest of the world was pretty much excluded. And of course, as time went on, more and more leaders from around the world started to be included and evolved into what it is today, which is a global international event composed of government and business leaders from every corner of the earth. They all gather at Davos to attend the conference. Cool. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. There is a theme. Did you know that for every conference or every World Economic Forum annual conference, there's a theme? The very first one was titled The New State of World Economy. And the most recent one, in 2023, is called Cooperation in a Fragmented World. Some 3,000 people attend the event, and I guess they try to follow the theme to talk about the most pressing problems in the world and how the business or the governments can provide solutions to these problems. For example, in 2023, January, the biggest problems are still left over from 2022, which is a public health crisis, COVID, the Ukraine and Russian war, and the economic stresses from each country in terms of hyperinflation and downturns of sales and large number of layoffs from tech companies. All these issues pretty much manifested themselves in 2022 and resulted in a fragmented world that needs addressing and fixing. Cool, let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. 1 of 10. So, the World Economic Forum is actually one of 10 events that the organization holds. The one we've been talking about at Davos is the primary one, which is the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum. But it actually has many different regional meetings, if you will, that's held worldwide. For example, there's an event called the Annual Meeting of New Champions that's held in China, either in Dalian or Tianjin. Also, there is an Indian Economic Summit that is held in New Delhi. Just remember, just because it's held in China or India doesn't mean it only comprises of leaders from those countries. It is still a global event, even though it's not held in Davos. And I would assume they still talk about world problems, but probably with a little more focus on their particular region. Another example is the one in Abu Dhabi, or sometimes in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, and it is called the Summit on the Global Agenda. Again, just because it's held in an Arab country doesn't mean only Arab nations attend. The same number of world leaders and business leaders still attend these events. Now let's get into the next and final fact, protected by the Swiss government. Now we're back to talking about the most famous one, the World Economic Forum annual event in Davos, Switzerland. Even though this is a private event, an invitation-only private event of high net worth individuals, business leaders, world leaders, the Swiss government actually provides the security necessary to host this event. It is very interesting that Switzerland, a country that is so highly developed and democratic, would be willing to use taxpayer dollars to fund a private invitation-only event that some people describe as elitist, because all the leaders or the people that attend to it are the top 1% of their respective countries or industries. The Swiss government spends millions of Swiss francs to deploy thousands of police officers and soldiers to protect all these high net worth individuals and government leaders. And they maintain that it is important for them to continue doing so because it brings so much revenue and recognition to this tiny town in Switzerland, and they wouldn't want the World Economic Forum to change it to a different location. Well, that's it for my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.